Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias.
Hi everybody, Tobias here. A couple weeks ago, one of the viewers of the channel contacted me via email and asked if I would like a box of knives. And well, you know, following along with the adage that my father taught me a long time ago, which was, if somebody's offering you a gift, you always accept it, unless it's poison, in which case you don't. All joking aside, I am so often overwhelmed by the generosity shown the channel by members of the knife community. I definitely feel that I am not worthy of such things, but apparently other people like the channel enough that they do want to help it out once in a while. And that's the case with Jason Wolfe. He sent me this box. I did not ask for anything. He just contacted me and said, hey, would you like some knives? And I said, yeah, sure. And I gave him my address, and he sent them my way. And I was expecting something a little bit smaller, fewer knives and everything else. But, well, let's turn the camera around and let me show you just what Jason sent me, because I am truly overwhelmed by his generosity. This was not something he needed to do. And also by what he told me to do with the knives. He said, you can keep them, you can give them away, whatever you want to do with the knives, they're yours now. So that was also very nice of him. So if I do decide to give any of these knives away, I will definitely make sure that whomever I'm sending it to, they will know that it was a gift to the channel from Jason. And I do truly appreciate your gesture, Jason. This was a very nice and beautiful gift. I really do appreciate everything you did for this. I mean, heck, just you can almost buy a Rough Rider for the amount of postage that he had to pay to send this to me. 2 pounds, 8.3 ounces. 2 pounds, 8.3 ounces of knives in the box. Anyway, let's turn the camera around and take a look at the knives. You don't want to see the box. Now, before I start, I have opened up the box. I have looked at each knife, but I have not really looked at them closely, and I don't know a whole lot about some of these knives. And well, let's just grab one and start. What we got here is a Red River knife. I have never heard of this company. It says YO0624DH. I do not know what that's for. We do see it is made in China. Whoever was pricing it has $28 on the box there. I don't know if that was the price of the knife or not. Let's get it on out of here. What we see is very much a yellow Delrin. Yeah, definitely yellow Delrin. You got the brass liners, brass pins, and it is obviously a mini trapper. And tang stamp. There is no tang stamp on this side. Other side, what does that read? I can't even make it out. Let me zoom in and see if I can see it better. Okay, USA design. I love it when they do that. 440 stainless and China. So obviously we know that the mini trapper is a knife that was made famous by Case. So yes, definitely a USA design. You got the spade blade over here. Man, the blades are really tight on this thing too. Really nice knife. Have no idea who Red River is. And interesting that the only place it says Red River is in the shield here, which is nicely set, but obviously not pinned, and then on the box. And let's see here, what's this say? Let me zoom back out.
So often I end up zooming in and then forgetting to zoom back out. Limited lifetime warranty. I wonder if Red River is still around. Red River Wuha Company. I wonder who that is. 2600 South Kelly Avenue, Edmond, Oklahoma. So there's enough information here so that I could actually look for it. Maybe that's what I'll do, is try and find out a little bit more about the Red River Knife Company. But pretty cool knife. Action isn't the best. It's very tight, but that's probably because it definitely needs to be cleaned. In any case, there's the first one, the Red River Mini Trapper. Don't have a lot of mini trappers, but this one's, I can tell you right now, it's really well made. Okay, this next one is something that I almost picked up at one time. This is the Combat Ready M1 bayonet miniature. It says U.S. Army 500 pieces, so I guess they only made 500 of these. For those not familiar, Combat Ready is a brand of Smoky Mountain Knife Works. So this is made by Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And I remember this logo. I think Josh Hill was the one who came up with the logo. It might have been Brian Wilhoit. But at one time, Josh Hill was kind of the person who was leading the charge for the Combat Ready stuff there. And this is the M1 bayonet. We see here. The M1 bayonet was designed to be used with the M1 Garand. The blade was 10 inches long and the handle was 4 inches long, a whopping 14 inches overall. Before 1943, the M1 Garand and all variants of the M1903 Springfield were using the M19. Yeah. This is all very much true. So this is the 10-inch version of an M1 bayonet. I almost picked this up, but I did not. Not a bad little knife. Oh man, that has an edge. That is actually sharp. So if you're going to use this for a, if you want to use this as a letter opener, be careful because it is sharp. It's cutting through some tough paper. Ooh, yeah, you can. G.I. Joe will not stand a chance against this one. I tell you that much. This is pretty cool. Like that, you got the little Combat Ready thing there, and then you have this over here. This is very similar to another letter opener I got when I was actually in the Army. I got this one at Fort Benning, and the other version of it, but a little bit bigger. This one is also got a little bit longer of a blade, but this was truly a letter opener, and it does not have an edge at all. But and also a plastic handle as opposed to this one that has a wonderful jig bone handle going on there. This is pretty cool. I like that. All you need is the approximate size of a M1 to put it on. How long is that? So 5 centimeters. Let's see. It's about 1/5 scale, I would say, because we were at 1/4 scale, maybe about 1/4 scale of an actual M1 bayonet. I'll have to break out the M1 bayonet and compare it in size, but that was by Combat Ready, the M1 bayonet. That's pretty cool. I like that. I almost bought those, but now I got one for free, so that's pretty cool. That one is definitely staying in the collection. As long as we're looking at small ones, here's another small one. This one was totally unbranded, but it is basically a miniature keychain type of folding hunter. It does not lock, but that's pretty cool. Nice little folding hunter. It does have an edge. Is it real sharp? Sharp enough. Yeah. So we got that going too. So a little folding hunter type clasp knife. Brass pins. Just stainless steel on the backside there. Yeah, if you want to complain about the gapping, you can definitely see some gapping going on there, but not a big deal. Man, that's pretty cool. I like that. It's a nice little miniature folding hunter. One of these days, I got to show my miniature knives. That's another one of my minis. But now I got 2 minis there. Got several other miniature knives, which are pretty cool. So that's a nice addition to the collection. And this one here, this is really kind of interesting. This is out of Solingen, Germany, I believe. Let's see here. Well, it's made in Germany. Might be out of Sologen. I do not know for certain if it's out of there or not. Uh, the interesting thing about it is you notice it has these stainless steel covers on here on both sides. But if you look closely, see that? Those are clipped on. So these are like shell covers on this equalent penknife. It's a single bladed equalent penknife made in Germany. And well, I have a collection of equalent penknives. So I'm sure that's why Jason decided to send this one to me because, well, I collect them. So that's pretty cool. I do not have one like this. So that's pretty interesting. And looks like something that would be easy to engrave. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Might have to engrave something on there. Okay, next up is a Tac Force Tactical Rescue Outdoor Knife. I'm sure Jason is aware of the channel, and I'm sure he also knows that I do not have a whole lot of these kind of knives. And typically, the ones I do have are low-cost ones as well. I mean, beyond the Spydercos, I cannot imagine there's very many... yeah, beyond my Spydercos, I do not have any what I would consider high-end modern folders. Maybe the one Wee knife I have, but I do have quite a few modern folders in my collection. And well, let's take a look at this Tac Force. What is this one? This is the TF710GN. And this one screams Mall Ninja circa 2003 to 2012, I'm going to say. Yeah, this definitely looks like something from around that time period. Notice the aggressive, what do you want to call it, the gripping that they've done on here. This is all aluminum. So they milled out the aluminum, I guess, or they stamped the aluminum to give it this rough surface. Is that supposed to be like a grenade or something? I don't know. Then you got the stripes here. Is this supposed to be, you know what? I know what it's supposed to be now. I'm looking at it and I figured out what it is. This is supposed to be like the handle on a on the Marine combat knife. That's what this handle is supposed to be representing. Like a Marine combat knife, but they put in a seatbelt cutter on the back here. So you got that little metal blade on the back there, supposedly for cutting the seatbelt and saving your girlfriend's life. So it doesn't end up like being Teen Angel all over again. And then you got the glass breaker on the back here, and then you've got the blade. I'm sure it is assisted opening. Let's flick that open. Well, come on. There we go. Yep, look at that. Yeah, that's supposed to be your, see, you got your, right there, you got your fuller, which it now has holes through it, but you definitely got that clip blade look to it. Yeah, that is not sharpened, but the bottom blade is. And like so many knives from that time period, from the early 2000s all the way up into like 2012 and such. Matter of fact, they're still doing it with the with that portion of serration up by the top there. But you can see it. You can see the Marine combat knife in there. You can see the what they were shooting for with that. Let's go ahead and close it up. Oh man, wow, that lockup is really rough, and got a, looks like a one position pocket clip. No, that's not for the pocket clip, that's for the blade. One position pocket clip, and okay, it is removable, so that's a plus. A lot of times they used to put the back screw here for the pivot up front through the pocket clip as well. Smith & Wesson used to be notorious for that, and as well as several other companies. The cheaper the knife, the more likely they would make that pocket clip held in place with the pivot screw as well, and it would make it so that you cannot remove the pocket clip or move it to a new location. This one at least is removable. Yeah, you can remove the pocket clip, you just can't put it anywhere else. And blade, yeah, the blade is a little lazy. I might have to open it up, but man, I tell you what, it is tight, and I bet you it's sharp. That's the one thing you can always guarantee with these old knives like this. They are sharp, at least out of the box usually. I'm running out of cardboard. I would say it's sharp enough. This was definitely designed for sell at the mall or at the flea market, and it's an excellent example of what you would have been able to buy. You know, those search and rescue knives from the early 2000s, and in this case, trying to look like a Marine combat knife. Okay, this next knife is something I have seen on eBay on many occasions, and I've also seen it in other places. It's one of those knives that, well, they sell it as a L'Aiguille knife, but it was obviously made in Pakistan. It's not out of France, but I have seen them numerous times and I've almost picked them up. You can always spot them because of the sheath, and actually, the sheath is a little bit better than what I usually find coming out of those knives out of Pakistan. The quality isn't too bad. So this might be one of the older ones that was done. In any case, you can still see that you got the oil and stuff around there, and that usually ends up reacting with the sheath. So that's a good reason not to store the knife in the sheath. And it wasn't in the sheath to begin with, but this is the sheath that came with it. And here we have the knife. And like I said, it's one of those clearly marked on the blade there, L'Aiguille, see there? But these are actually made in Pakistan. They'll usually also say 440 on there. Action is not the world's greatest, but it's a pretty cool knife anyway. And I tell you what, I'm kind of impressed with the filing on the back here. That's not the typical file work you see on these knives, so that looks a little bit better. The bead is about the same as what you usually see, and there is no blade play. And the only thing I see problematic with this one is, if you notice here, see this slot here, that is where a piece of brass should be. Now I've filled it in a little bit with some gold paint. Basically, the lawn care people showed up and they were cutting the grass. Unfortunately, I am not able to cut my own grass at the moment, so I have to have somebody else doing it. In any case, I put in a little gold paint in there right now. But what I'm thinking is I might end up getting some gold leaf or some brass foil and filling that in with that later. But it should have some little brass wires in there like you have on this side. But what I really like, especially on this side, is the wood on this handle. It looks really nice. Don't know what kind of wood it is, but I do like the wood grain, especially on this side. This side is not as dramatic, but both sides are pretty cool looking. And you got the nice brass bolsters, and they do look nice. Obviously not a real L'Aiguille, and definitely got good blade wrap going. Matter of fact, you can hear that. It's a strong spring. The blade does not really lock, but the spring is pretty strong, so it doesn't break free too quickly easily. And it's got a decent enough edge. Wonderful hollow grind going if you like the hollow grinds. So not a bad knife at all. Let me move you to the back a little bit. Oh man, this thing is so hard to close. Okay. Get you in the back. And let's move on to the next knife. Yeah, I know it's a little long, but there's like 10 knives here, and I'm one of those people who can't just show the knife and move on. This one, it says Miller Brother Cutlery. Well, if you're at all familiar with it, and if you even look at the box, you can see that this Miller Brother cutlery knife is actually made by Frost. Everything about this box says Frost. I happen to know that Miller Brother is one of those trademarks that Frost picked up. The knife itself is made in Pakistan, and this is one of their small Coke bottles that they make, or swell center knives they have. It's a little swell center jack or a small Coke bottle, and looks like, yeah, nickel silver, brass pins, brass liners. You got a full center spacer going on between the blades. Blade alignment is not too bad. The smaller blade looks like it could be a little bit better. You got the match strike pulls. Miller Brother or Frost doesn't make as good of a match strike pull as Rough Rider does, in my opinion. Good lockup on it. Yeah, not bad. And you got the other blade, which is the clip blade. Not bad either. That one has a little bit of a blade wobble on it. And you got a, I believe that is, what is the handle material? Does it say? CBH. I do not know what the CBH stands for. Cocobolo wood, maybe? It might be wood. I can't tell. It looks like it's a, yeah, it is a wood. I can see the wood grain going in there. So this is probably Cocobolo wood in a nice little swell center jackknife, or a swell center Coke bottle, whatever you want to call it. About 3¼ inches long, I'm guessing, maybe a little smaller. Let's see here. Yeah, 3-inch. It's a 3-inch Coke bottle. Pretty cool little knife. Okay, next is a knife and a sheath. I do not believe that this knife actually came with this sheath. It may have, but the sheath was tossed in the box and the knife was in the box also, but they were not together at all. And if it does come with it, it's not the best fit. But that is also something that is very common with some of the knives that are either made in Pakistan, and they say they have a knife that has a sheath that is designed to fit it, or knives that are put together here in the United States and they claim they have a matching sheath. Who knows? I don't know. But in any case, the knife itself is pretty cool. The sheath is not bad. I don't know what kind of quality the sheath, the leather is. It seems decent enough, and it feels like leather, which is always a plus. And it also looks like leather on the inside, which is also a plus. And it is obviously designed for scout carry, which a lot of people really like. So that's pretty cool too. The knife itself looks like a, what is it, about 3½ inch? Nope, I'm really bad with my measuring today. It's a 4-inch lockback, so about the same size as a Buck 112. However, you can see it's got a little bit of embellishments going on there. You got this wonderful color wood, which is, it looks like red and black. That's the two colors that are chosen. Might be a dark blue, but I think it was actually red and black. And then you've got the embossed bolsters on both sides there, which are pretty cool too. And you can see the pins on there, and the pin in the middle right there, and a pin right there. But still some pretty cool embossed bolsters. And then you have the mosaic pin on this side here for a shield, which is pretty cool. Obviously, it is also a Damascus blade, so this is probably one of those knives out of Pakistan. It is unmarked, but it feels pretty good in the hand. Minimal blade wobble, and you can see the file work that they were working on, and they attempted to pull the file work into the blade here too. So you got a little jimping on the back there in the guise of file work, and got a little bit of a recurve, not much, but a little bit of a recurve going on there. Do I have anything to cut? Unfortunately, I'm running out of stuff to cut. I don't know if it's sharp or not. not too bad. I mean, it will cut. Definitely could use a better of an edge. I don't know how well you could put an edge on it. And it is definitely one of those Pakistani Buck 112 knockoffs, but it's a pretty cool looking knife, and I definitely like the swell in the handle. Got some wonderful frost wood or color wood going on in there, so it's pretty nice. Not the best of world fit, but really a pretty cool knife. And hey, at what point do you say, hey, don't look at a gift horse in the mouth? Because I really do like this knife. You know, this is probably one that I will throw in with all those Damascus knives. I usually buy one or two every year. And if I would have seen this one at like a flea market or something, and the price was right, I would have definitely picked it up because it just looks pretty cool. I got to tell you, it does look cool. And build quality is not that bad, you know, it's pretty nice. So yeah, I kind of like that one. I kind of dig it. And now we have another knife by Frost, and this is Tail Cutlery. And let's see, where is this one made? It is made in Pakistan. That doesn't bother me too much when it comes to Tail Cutlery, because Tail Cutlery is one of those better brands that you get from Frost. The ones you got to worry about are the ones that just say Frost. Once you start getting into the brand names that he throws out there, some of them are pretty good, and Tail Cutlery tends to be a pretty good knife. That's been my opinion of them. They tend to be on par or better than the Steel Warrior knives out of Frost. And Steel Warriors are not bad knives. So this is, you know, right up there in quality with many of the Rough Rider knives out there. Oh, and this one is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that orange. Orange smooth bone. Orange smooth bone. So this is the WT 797. So, and that's the one thing I do like with Frost, with their numbering system and stuff. So you see the WT, that stands for Tail Cutlery, obviously, and 797 is this type of stockman that Tail Cutlery will make. So every other 797 out there is going to be some kind of stockman, and then they're going to say orange smooth bone, as opposed to like what Rough Rider does. You know, Rough Rider does not have an exact pattern number for like their trapper. So their white smooth bone trapper is going to have a totally different number than their red jig bone trapper. So that's one of the things that is kind of one of my gripes with Rough Rider, is that they do not have true pattern numbers. So you can't say, you know, all the toothpicks are going to have this number or anything like that. But if you're looking for another Tail Cutlery stockman, you know now, well, the 797 in orange smooth bone, if they have one in white smooth bone or something like that, or in a red jig bone or something like that, or the Mustang jig or whatever, or their stag bone, it's going to be something similar to a WT 797, and then a couple different letters at the end. But this is pretty cool. I like that, man. Nice brass liner. The fit and finish on this is really nice. And you got the shield there. The shield is a little recessed, but nice. And you got the little whitetail, what a mule deer, is that what it says? Or does it say, nope, just says whitetail, which makes sense. That's the type of deer it is. Got the long pull on the blade there. Got your sheep foot in the back here. This one definitely needs a little oiling going on. Sheep foot with just a regular pull, no match striker stuff going on this one. Notice it's also got the smooth bolsters. That's really nice. I like this knife. I don't have a whole lot of orange smooth bone. And then you've got the notice the spade blade, the little bump there. I mentioned this to somebody else somewhere else on one of the other web pages. That bump there, that is designed so that the nail nick is a little bit higher on the blade so you can get to the nail nick better. And that's the whole purpose of it. And then it drops a little bit, and then you finally finish it off with the proper spay end. And that is something you see on a lot of the old Imperial Schrade knives. The Imperial Schrade has a tendency to do that with their spay blades, the little bump there. And it's really just to keep the nail nick a little bit higher. So that's pretty cool. This is a really nice stockman, and I don't have an orange smooth bone stockman. About 3 3/4 inches, maybe 3 7/8 inches. So not quite what most people would consider a large stockman, but I think this is a lot of people would consider this the sweet spot when it comes to a stockman for the pocket. Okay, starting to wrap it up here. I got 2 more knives to go, and this one is definitely a Rough Rider. This is the lollipop. I do not have one of these. And this is, which one is this? I did not open the box yet on this one, I gotta tell you. So I don't know what it is. Ooh, it is their, what do they call it? Their, it's not a seahorse whittler. It is swayback whittler. That's what they call it, a swayback whittler. And the lollipop, a lot of people got all upset about this one because, well, it's got like a rainbow of colors on there, so you know what that means, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't care. This is pretty cool. I like this. It's all different shades of acrylic. And then that is a really nice shield. I hope to see that shield on other Rough Riders. That is pretty cool. And then this is in the swayback frame. So you have the slanted bolsters. Fortunately, the Lollipop series came out after the end of the slant R's, so there's no big R on the bolster. Not a bad blade there. I like the Warncliffe on this. So this is like a pregnant seahorse, or an overweight seahorse, whatever you want to call it. And it has 2 pin blades along with that Warncliffe. That's the only gripe I have about this. If there's a complaint I would have about this knife is to Rough Rider, I would say put a coping blade on this knife. This knife needs a coping blade. Yeah, this one has a common flaw that a lot of these knives have, and that is one of the pin blades is a little bit lazy. But man, I really do like that. I like that shield. They really got to do more with that shield. That is a pretty cool shield. I like that. In any case, there's the lollipop. I got one in the lollipop series. I would love to see a large toothpick in the lollipop series, because I think all those, it's also called the candy stripe series and other things that Case did a long time ago. They did one in candy stripe. It was very similar to this, and I would love to see a large toothpick in candy stripe or lollipop or whatever you want to call it, because that would just look so cool with such a long, slender handle. Yeah, I like this one. This is pretty cool. Yeah, this one's going to be a keeper in the collection for sure. And now for the last knife. This is a knife that I actually thought about picking up numerous times, and I always ended up picking up something else. And so I'm really happy to finally have this one. Okay, starting to wrap it up here. I got 2 more knives to go, and this one is definitely a Rough Rider. This is the lollipop. I do not have one of these. And this is, which one is this? I did not open the box yet on this one, I gotta tell you. So I don't know what it is. Ooh, it is their, what do they call it? Their, it's not a seahorse whittler. It is their Humpback whittler. That's what they call it. And this is, and the lollipop, a lot of people got all upset about this one because, well, it's got like a rainbow of colors on there, so you know what that means, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't care. This is pretty cool. I like this. It's all different shades of acrylic, And then that is a really nice shield. I hope to see that shield on other Rough Riders. That is pretty cool. And then this is in the Humpback whittler, so you have the slanted bolsters. Fortunately, the Lollipop series came out after the end of the slant R's, so there's no big R on the bolster. Not a bad blade there. I like the Warncliffe on this. So this is like a pregnant seahorse or an overweight seahorse, whatever you want to call it. And it has two pin blades along with that Warncliffe. That's the only gripe I have about this. If there's a complaint I would have about this knife is to Rough Rider, I would say put a coping blade on this knife. This knife needs a coping blade. Yeah, this one has a common flaw that a lot of these knives have, and that is one of the pin blades is a little bit lazy. But man, I really do like that. I like that shield. They really got to do more with that shield. That is a pretty cool shield. I like that. In any case, there's the Lollipop. I got one in the Lollipop series. I would love to see a large toothpick in the Lollipop series, because I think all those, it's also called the Candy Stripe series and other things that Case did a long time ago. They did one in Candy Stripe. It was very similar to this, and I would love to see a large toothpick in Candy Stripe or Lollipop or whatever you want to call it, because that would just look so cool with such a long, slender handle. Yeah, I like this one. This is pretty cool. Yeah, this one's going to be a keeper in the collection for sure. And now for the last knife. This is a knife that I actually thought about picking up numerous times, and I always ended up picking up something else. And so I'm really happy to finally have this one. And this is a knife made by Mam in Portugal. Now, I have, I think, one or two other knives by Mam, but I do not have one like this. And this is, you could call it a pruning knife, maybe, but it's really got that big old sheepfoot blade going on there. It's rather slim, so I would not really consider it a true rope knife or anything, but I have heard them called twine knives and such like that. But this is just a really cool knife, and they're not that expensive. And the real cool thing about it is it has this lock here. This is the liner lock going on with it. You push it over and you can unfree the blade. Now, this is a lock that is going to work a little bit better for a right-handed person. I don't care. That is just, and it is more or less a friction folder. So, there is no spring on it. The only lock you have is right there. And, but it's a good lock. It comes across and snaps in place. Can I close it one-handed? No, I really can't quite close it one-handed, but it really isn't designed for one-hand closing anyway, I don't think. Mam right there. Nice wood handle. I like the color on this handle. I don't know if that is olive wood or not. I got a feeling it's probably beech. It doesn't say anything on the box, unfortunately. It says nothing on there other than keep away from children and Mam since 1870. Oh, yeah, they do not say what kind of knife it is, just that it is a pocket knife. I wish I knew a little bit more about the knife. I have seen it on eBay numerous occasions and have thought about buying one, but I have always just passed on it. And now I have one, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Mam knives are extremely inexpensive too. And I have liked every one of them that I have picked up. But in any case, well, I have definitely probably bored most of you to death now, but when you get this kind of gift from somebody who really doesn't even know you, there's something amazing about it. So they deserve a little time, and and I was just so excited to get such a wonderful gift from Jason. So I thought I'd share it with you. Some of the knives will probably be going to other people in giveaways and such, and some of them will also be cherished in my collection. So, but the warm feeling I got from such a generous gift is something that is going to last for a very long time, and there's no true way that I can express my appreciation to Jason for such a wonderful gesture. And so words are going to fail me on that, but all I can really say at this point is thank you very much, Jason. Thank you very much for supporting the channel over the years, and I wish you the best. And again, thank you. Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with the Pious. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.